selections, the injuries, the trying different systems. Has this been a good preparation for a Celtic game, or slightly more difficult and unusual one than you're used to?
I think it's been good since the gaffers came. You know, we've got the results that we've wanted. We obviously know that there's more space for improvement in our performances, which is good because we're getting the results that we want, but we know there's still improvement. And the rotation of the team, it's showing the depth of the squad, of what we've got. The other night, it takes me, Lunny, Jacko, and I forgot who the other one was, but it's just getting the squad all up to speed and ready for when they're called. So I think we're in a good spot.
In terms of the break before these 4 games, has the manager been able to reset you as a squad? This is what we've all been talking about earlier this season. There would be a chance for a reset. Has it felt like that, or has it been more continuity in it on the training ground?
No, it's definitely been a reset. When you have that length of period of off playing football, your mind sort of takes away from football, but you're obviously constantly thinking about it. And then you get a new manager, and everything changes. The gaffer puts his print on the team, and it was obviously fresh of how we've approached training, and we've been getting really behind it and been showing signs in games, and we just needed to show more of those signs, more continuously throughout the game.
Cool. James, how impressed have you been with Adam Devine the last couple of matches? What sort of advice have you been giving him? And are you able to cover your shoulder a little bit?
He's been great. Adam's been great since he's joined the squad. He's been really training really hard. He's been keeping his head down, and I've been really impressed with his performances that he's put in for the team. So he's one young lad that we can always count on. He's just got to keep pushing himself and demanding a spot in the team, and that's what we want from everybody. Demanding their right to be in the starting 11, and that'll push everyone on. But he's been a credit to himself and his family and to the club of how well he's started. So he's just got to keep on working hard.
Now that the defence is a little bit more stable and you get more of the established players back, are you feeling more confident with your ability to then go forward and attack more now? You've got that more solid base behind you.
Well, obviously, since the gaffers came in, he's wanted me to get forward more. But when you've obviously got Connor back, Ben back, the lads who normally play at centre back, you normally do get a bit more assurances because I've obviously played a lot more games with him. But I thought Leon's done a terrific job when he's came in, and James, and we've had different centre backs who have played, and they've done the job which they've been asked to do. But the past 2 games we've kept 2 clean sheets, which is really promising leading into a game like this.
In terms of the title race, do you see this as a win or bust game?
No, if you on mass, there's plenty of points to play for. The league, it's just gone past halfway, and there's plenty of games to play. We'll obviously be going into this game wanting to get the result that we want, especially at home. But we've got to obviously try and maximise the points and try to obviously shorten that gap.
How different a Celtic team is this team from Celtic teams you've played in the past?
New faces. Obviously, since the manager came in, obviously a little bit changed the way they played, but it's a team that's always been aggressive. But we do love the challenge.
Was there any lessons at all you could take from the first fixture of the season against them?
I think it's going to be a bit different. There'll be a different approach. Obviously, got a new manager, so I think it will be set up a lot differently, and we're playing at home as well.
You talked about them being sort of aggressive there and on the front foot. Is the best thing you can do on Monday is go there and match that and take the game to them?
I think that's what we have to do every single game, no matter who we play. If it's Motherwell, if it's Celtic, or if it's Aberdeen, we've got to be aggressive from the very start and set the tone of the game. And I think that's the minimum we have to do.
How much do you enjoy these occasions, just on a personal note?
I love these occasions. I love every time I travel and make my way to Ibrox and to play something that I've loved all my life, and it's a dream come true, and it's something obviously you want to have the rewards after it, you want to get the results, so I'll be doing everything possible, and I'm sure the lads will be doing everything possible to make sure we get the result.
The manager was at the club last time round with Steven Gerrard. I think they finished off with a 7-game unbeaten run against Celtic. It's obviously gone since then, but how important is it to try and get back to some level of consistency in these fixtures, and how hard is it to achieve that, because you were obviously a big part of that?
Yeah, I think that's key, the consistency. I think before the break we didn't have the consistency there, and obviously we started well with the results, so the consistency is there with the results. We obviously know the performance levels can improve, but we know there's a level of consistency in creeping into our game, and that'll obviously help us come the game that we do play against them. So we know there's improvement, so we know we've got more to give when the game comes.
James, how do you feel this game differs to any other game in the league or any opponent that you come up against?
Obviously playing against your rivals, and you're playing against obviously one of the teams that are competing with the league, but we treat obviously Celtic like every other team in the league, and we want to get 3 points, and that's the minimum that we want to get.
The manager was saying there's not many players in the squad who haven't been a part of a big derby, but what advice would you give as captain to those who are maybe a little bit newer to it?
It's something that you just have to soak up really quick, because it can be over in a flash, and it can, these games can be really manic to start with, and fast tempo. So you just got to be controlled and be thoughtful of the way you're playing, and just be sticking to what the team and what the manager wants.
Guys on the Zoom, Derek.
Good afternoon, James. We all know what Ibrox can be like in these big games. In terms of the effect it can have on the players and the supporters, can you give us a bit of an understanding of how big a role they can play on the players on the pitch?
It can play a massive role, but ultimately it comes down to us as players to set the tone around the stadium. The fans can get behind us, but we need to really set the tempo from the get-go, and the fans will always follow. So it's down to us to obviously to make a great game of it for the fans.
Is there a feeling that trying to put that game earlier on the season right sort of thing, that you never showed maybe your true selves in that one?
Yeah, you never want to lose, and you always want to set things right. But we've got new management now, and there'll be a different approach to this game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Matthew.
Hi James. Just as captain, we were speaking to the manager earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of experienced players that have been in Old Firm games, but there's a couple of, you mentioned Adam and maybe Alex Lowry. Will you kind of maybe seek out to have a conversation with them about what these kind of games are like or what to expect?
Well, I think they've been around it to have a gist of what the game's about, and if selected, definitely, it's something that I'll always speak to them about, even leading up to it, because obviously we don't know the starting lineup, but like I said before, yeah, I'd get round them and just tell them about how fast the game will be, and we've got plenty of experience in the team that would help Alex or Adam if they were starting.
Do you remember back to kind of going to your first one, and did anyone kind of come to you and have conversations with you about what you could expect, or were you just kind of thrown at the deep end? Or?
I think you can get told, and there's actually playing it, and then you do feel like you're in the deep end, and you've got to experience it yourself to then get obviously more experience. But it's something that does hit you, but you obviously want to win, and that helps.
Yeah, cheers.
Jay, to finish, please.
James, do you and the squad feel as if you've got a point to prove, given Celtic have had things most of their own way this season and in this fixture of late?
And we've always got a point to prove, especially when you're not winning the trophies that you want to be winning. You've always got a point to prove. We've always got a point to prove every single day. We're trying to make ourselves better, and if you're not making yourself better every day, then you always have to look in the mirror. So we're always here pushing in each other every single day, trying to make each other better, and that's And that's no different to when we played them last time. You know, we knew that we had to improve from that game, and even the games leading up to now, we know there's improvement, and we're just constantly working hard to make ourselves better.
So just how big a win would it be on Monday?
Pardon?
How big would a win be on Monday to send a signal of intent for the rest of the season?
Well, we started off the season good, and we'd obviously want to keep carrying that on, and we'd want, you know, a positive result come Monday, and you know that's what we want to have, that momentum and that consistency. So we want to obviously keep that going.